horrible everything in that healthcare system, but it is universal healthcare. That's what Obama is trying to achieve here. That's why we are against socialized medicine, because there is a finite amount of money in the system. There's a finite amount of money for everything. We cannot afford to give everybody on the planet everything they may wish. So there it is. There it is. Obama says that the executive pay limits for bailout companies should be $500,000 per executive. He said they should not be rewarded for failure. Now, that's very appealing, and it makes sense up to a point. So he says that the executives of these bailed out companies should not be rewarded for failure. Now, let's notice Obama the Magnificent's words. They shouldn't be rewarded for failure. Is he telling me, though, that we should reward illegal aliens for failure? The failure to be legal? The failure to not have too many children? The failure to not have the money to provide for their children? The failure to be decent enough to go home to their home country and get the health care that their children need? How about rewarding illegal aliens for their failure, Mr. Obama? Impeach Obama now. I'll be back.
Savage.
Today, with one of the first bills that I signed, reauthorizing the Children's Health Insurance Program, we fulfill one of the highest responsibilities that we have, to ensure the health and well-being of our nation's children. It's a responsibility that's only grown more urgent as our economic crisis deepens, as healthcare costs have exploded and millions of working families are unable to afford health insurance.
Well, let's stop right there. What he's not telling you is that this is the Democrat version of the SHIP bill, which has taken out the requirement that applicants prove their citizenship status. So he has now expanded the children's health care program for the states to be applied to illegal alien children. It will cost $32.8 billion in increased funding costs. That's increased over the existing billions and billions it costs a year. $32.8 billion estimated the first year. Okay, that's number one. Now there's a whopper coming for you, and that's clip 29. Listen to this carefully.
Now let me say this. In the past few days, I've heard criticisms of this plan that frankly echo the very same failed theories that helped lead us into this crisis in the first place. The notion that tax cuts alone will solve all our problems, that we can address this enormous crisis with half steps and piecemeal measures and tinkering around the edges. We can ignore fundamental challenges like the high cost of health care and still expect our economy and our country to thrive. I reject these theories, and, by the way, so did the American people when they went to the polls in November and voted resoundingly for change.
Okay, they voted resoundingly for change. So this psycho thinks that the word change now gives him a mandate to do whatever the heck he wants. This egomaniac, Obama the Magnificent, thinks that the word change gives him the opportunity to impose a Marxist revolution upon America. Do you understand that you have an obligation right now? You better get yourself an Impeach Obama bumper sticker from somewhere, and I'm not selling them. I don't have them. I don't care who makes them. Start putting them on your cars. You better get the word out. You better start the movement now. It better snowball real fast. And this character better be stopped real fast because he's out of control. As far as I am concerned, Obama is an egomaniac, a narcissist, and he has no idea that 47 million Americans said no to his concept of change. They said no to George Bush. They said no to that old hack, John McCain. But they didn't say yes to Fidel Castro. They did not say yes to Karl Marx. They did not say yes to Fyodor Lenin. They did not say yes to Trotsky. They did not say that change meant Trotsky, Lenin, and Marx. They meant that they didn't want that bumbling fool George Bush. That's all it meant, Obama. It didn't mean that we wanted a communist revolution in this country. And that's why I say, ladies and gentlemen, if you think about it, look at what this man has tried to do in only 2 short weeks. He closed down Gitmo, but he doesn't know where to send the murderers and the terrorists. He granted the murderers and terrorists constitutional rights that they are not entitled to. Shall I go down the list of the 5 executive orders that he passed that have been swept under the rug by the empty skirts and the empty suits in the media? Shall I then tell you that the so-called stimulus bill is about 90 to 91% liberal pork barrel spending that has nothing to do with job creation? It is simply a liberal wish list. That is not about change, my friend. It's about business as usual. It's about pork barrel spending as usual. The man is a liar. He's an outright fraud, as are all politicians, incidentally. He's no different in that regard. The only difference is that he's far to the left of any politician in the history of America. So if you voted for a communist revolution, by all means, you're a happy person. But I don't think that even the 53% of Americans who voted for Obama voted for a Marxist revolution in this country. I don't think they understand the ramifications of it, but I think today you have a hint of it. The ramifications include extending health care for illegal alien children, because this is the Democrat version of the bill, which no longer requires applicants to prove their citizenship status. So if you want to take care of doctors and surgeons and medication for other people's children, including non-citizens, that's your prerogative. Then what you ought to do is go to an emergency room and empty your pockets every week instead of buying yourself toys. New York City, WOR Rob, welcome to the program.
Hey, I was wondering if you not wanting to pay for these children's health care makes you a child hater. What does it make the people who give birth to children and have no money for health care in the first place? Doesn't, child care start like...
Well, to me, that's the moral imperative, which is to have children you can afford. Don't have them if you can't afford them. Certainly, if you're not a citizen, don't come here and dump them on my doorstep and tell me I have to take care of them.
Shouldn't we arrest these people for child abuse, if that makes you a child?
Well, good luck arresting them for anything. You'll be arrested by Nancy Pelosi before they'll be arrested. If this keeps up, you will be a non-citizen in your own country. They'll vote you out of your own country in your own lifetime. If this is not stopped now, impeach Obama now.
Savage.